honestly, when you really think about it, to compare your life to the life of Judas, before it got bad, it was actually looking pretty good. Judas was one of the 12 disciples. He was in close proximity to Jesus. Of all the people, he was one of the 12. He wasn't so bad. He knew how to do the right thing. He was following Jesus. He dedicated his life to doing this. But it was these little compromises that ended up having really big consequences. And in John chapter 12, we kind of see a foreshadowing of maybe what was to come in Judas's life. It says this in John chapter 12. It says, 6 days before the Passover, Jesus therefore came to Bethany, where Lazarus, whom Jesus had raised from the dead, was there too. So they gave a dinner for him there. Martha served, and Lazarus was one of the ones reclining at the table. Mary therefore took a pound of expensive ointment made from pure nard and anointed the feet of Jesus and wiped it with her hair. The house was full with the fragrance of perfume. So many of us have heard that part of the story, and we know that part of the story, this woman just fully devoting her life to Jesus, pouring this out. But then it's the next verse that I want to focus on, and it says, but Judas Iscariot, one of the disciples, and in parentheses, it says, who was about to betray him. So this is hindsight. This is looking back and being like, oh yeah, Judas was there, the one that was about to betray him. And look at what Judas was saying in this time. Judas says, why was this ointment not sold for 300 denarii and given to the poor? Oh, how spiritual of him. How good did that sound? Why isn't this being given to the poor? It wasn't like it was obvious. It wasn't like he was sitting there making fun of her, being like, what is this chick doing? This is so embarrassing. Oh my gosh, get a hold of yourself. That would have been obvious. That would have been something they would have been like, hey, chill out. Why are you acting like that? Your heart's in the wrong place. No. It sounded good. He was like, why don't we give this to the poor? And see, that's the reason why compromise is such a big deal, is because it's normally something no one else can call you out for. It's something that no one else sees. You're chilling, you're looking good, you're sounding good, you're at Liberty University training champions for Christ. We're good. But only you know the conviction in your heart. And only you can be obedient to follow that. In James, it talks about if you know what is wrong and you continue to do it, for you, it is a sin. If you know what is wrong and you continue to do it, I knew it was wrong and I continued to do it. So for me, it was a big deal. He goes on to say, he said this not because he cared about the poor, but because he was a thief. And having charge of the money bag, he used it to help himself to what was put in it. And honestly, that's why we compromise, right? It's because it helps ourselves. I'm sitting here, I'm enjoying myself, I'm having fun, I'm relaxing. I'm like, come on now, let me just have fun. We compromise because we want to be relatable to people. We compromise because maybe it helps us climb the ladder. We compromise because we get to enjoy that satisfaction. We compromise because that thing in the moment just seemed better than listening to our conviction. John Piper says, and he's so brilliant, but I love how he talks about the essence of good and evil. And he said, the essence of evil is not, just breaking God's commands. The essence of evil is desiring something over God. And so it's in those moments of compromise that we just desire what we are feeling in the moment, what we are experiencing in the moment, more than we want to follow God. And friends, the reason I'm preaching this message is kind of like a womp womp, follow your conviction, don't compromise.